So now we move to our two young poets. I mean poet readers and poets.
We'll read the first Iraqi poem and then we'll hand over to Fajir. He'll be reading a few poems.
I will start with the Arabic poem by May Mudhafar من تلك الأرض النائية. في الليل سامرني قمر فسحبت من تحت الجناح حقيبتي وسريت تحملني رياح ما لها من مستقر. قدمي على أرض هنا لكنها أبدا هناك تمشي على جسر حنى للنهر ظهره واحتمى في الشاطئين تخطو ترف تدور فوق الماء تهبط أو تطير كلما ارتعشت سماء أو تراءت في ملامحها عروق الياسمين. صوت شق الأرض فقامت من عمق الجب سنابل قمح ذهبية وزنابق في كتب الشعر تخف لتصير شواهد سرية. هزمت بنا الأرض لم تبق السماء لنا رمق. طارت على الجهات عباءتي منسوجة بخيوط نار. حملت على ريش الجناحين اللذين يتعاندا شعبا ينام على ورق. في الفضاء المستباح وعلى مرأى من الناجين من بحر الدماء عندما امتدت على بعد يدان وقفت 7 حمامات على سور مهدم ومشت في كبرياء فانحنى النخل لها واستفاقت نجمتان. إنهم يأتون من أقصى البحار وينادونك من عمق المدى. يقظ أنت ولكن مغمض العينين تصغيل رعود دمرت من حقلك الفضي أغلى ما لديك قمرا سامر ليلا خلوتك.
And now for the English from the distant land. A moon entertained me by night, so I dragged my bag from underneath the wing, departed secretly, carried by restless wings. My feet may well be here on this land, but they are eternally there, crossing a bridge that bends over the river, taking shelter in both shores. They pace and flutter, with doves circling, over the water flying up or down, whenever the sky shivers, or jasmine roots hazily appear on its surface. A voice tore up the land, and from the depth of the abyss, golden spikes of grains grew up, and tulips disguised themselves in poetry books and became secret witnesses. Defeated on land we were. Heaven left us no breath of life. My abaya flew in all directions, interlaced with fire threads, carried on the feathers of its 2 contesting wings, a nation sleeping on paper beds. In a space possessed and spoiled, seen by survivors from the sea of blood, 2 hands stretched out from the distance, 7 doves stood over a collapsed fence, walked majestically, the palm trees bowed, and 2 stars revived. Approaching from the farthest oceans, they address you from the deepness of extensity. You are awake in spite of your closed eyes, listening to thunders demolishing from your silvery field your most precious possessions. A moon once entertained your solitude.
Absolutely lovely, thank you very much. The title of the poem in English was Absence. And now we have our Palestinian poet, Fajir Tamimi. Thank you very much, Fajir.
Hi everyone. So I've chosen a couple of poems, mostly around the theme of tonight, but some of them are a bit more of a personal nature because I think in the same space of, in the same space of thought, you have to marry hope with memory because I think someone once told me that when they opened Pandora's box, the last thing that was left there was hope. So we've always got to reach out. The first poem that I'm going to read is called Silence and I, and it's about that state that sometimes we reach when we feel too burdened to talk. We might feel like we do not have the words or we do not have the means to reach out. And amidst that sort of descent into sort of surrender to silence, if you will, there's still that little piece of us that wants to reach out and say, no, I will not be silenced. So, can I wear my scars inside out? My stories have grown long. My voice has grown hoarse. And I've torn so many pages, crumpled and stained, tucked with careless haste between my ribs. Silence and I have never been good friends. He watched with kind eyes. The night I tore the last page out, lit a fire in my throat, begged for the memory to be stripped from my skin. A spine opened, and he whispered into my ear, "Paper doll, wring out the tears from your heart and make me a home in your bones. Paper doll, hide the laughter in your tresses and make me a home in your eyes. Paper doll, string a lullaby from the memories and make me a home in your heart." Silence and I have never been good friends. Can I wear my scars inside out? Snap the strings that have grown from my back into the heavens, lost their way to mercy and stood, charred ends suspended amongst passing clouds and vacant gazes, swaying in constant dance, made ungentle by the repetition. Silence and I have never been good friends. He offered me the hours, the days, the years, and sat by my pillow. My song grew softer, my voice grew softer, my words grew softer. Paper doll, forget for a while, forget for a while, forget for a while. Silence and I have never been good friends. My second poem is called The Mother Tongue, and I wrote this in an effort to kind of untangle some ideas I had about the issue of identity and our inability to sometimes negotiate that identity with what other people might assume it is or what they might want it to be. So, without further ado, explain to me one more time. Dispel from me one more time. Dissect and analyze for me one more time. The anger in the curly hair girl, born outside Oriental slum, never too far from the end of a gun. Learn the letter, learn the voice, write it out, perfect it in, hear it out, and read it right. This civilized, this second tongue. She, the accent, the color, can't shake it out, blend it in, then scream it out. Messy, pretty, exotic, baptized, Levantine. So, explain to me, one more time, the text written on and taught to wide-eyed boy, born in tin roof, open air prison, shackle on ankle, manhood baked in heat of despair, labeled other. He bent and proud, he told to shoulder fear, stripped and searched for traces of hope. Traces of hope, pronounced dangerous. So, explain to me one more time the line that marks the separation, the line that sparks the perpetration of another act of defiance. United Nations resolution, divided nations revolution, hand out the sentence in another documentary. His life a mockumentary, her life ablutionary, governed by the necessary, the scene always cartoonish, dirty, boorish, turbulent, always accent heavy and discourse explanatory. She not foreign, he not foreign, not different to human, not different to beauty, not different to kindness. The validation, the explanation, the imagination of the opulent, the violent, the petulant, ignorant, in need of education, salvation, democratic elimination, systematic alienation. So, do not explain to me. She and I and he and we speak liberation. Freedom needs no explanation. Freedom needs no justification. So explain it to me one more time.
Thank you so much, Fajir. That was just wonderful.
Do I have a bit more time, or?
Yes, you want to do one more?
Yes, please.
Everybody okay with one more?
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you.
So this last one is called Criminalize Me, and I wrote it when I was trying to kind of think of a way to let out my frustration with having to navigate daily life and what was happening in Gaza the last time that we had another set of massacres, basically. Criminalize me. Are you disturbed enough yet? Perturbed enough yet? Watch that ripple across, expand and protract, pain across. Someone else's pain ain't enough to get you cross, because it's theirs, and this is yours. And you have learned the discourse of disconnect, the language of disrespect to the core connect, and the base intellect that says, love thyself. So, are you horrified about it much? You concerned about it much? Does it move you? Tell me this. Do you wonder how the flesh feels torn, scorched from high impact, high precision, high speed combat missile, bomb racked and button pressed? The same baby born. The same baby born to the same mother who felt the same need for love
for life's thread that wrapped her cord to the mother cord, and the mother cord. Discord on a scale of loud to deafening, packaged as random, delivered pretty to someone else's home. So, can you feel it beckoning, the hum of reckoning, because it is always, yes, it is always someone else's home, always someone else's pain, and someone else's gain. Until, my friend, until the day it's your own.